Hello students, welcome to the another session of Bridge course. I am Utkarsh Suryavanshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. Today we are going to learn about a major problem known as global warming. Let us go through the objectives of the session. First one, introduction to global warming. Second, causes of global warming. Third, consequences of global warming. And last, we are going to draw the conclusion. So let us go through the first point, which is introduction. If we were to define the global warming in simple layman's terms, it refers to the long-term increase in Earth's average surface temperature due to various human activities, primarily the emission of greenhouse gases. Human activities such as burning of fossil fuel and deforestation has made a major impact on global warming. It has resulted from the accumulation of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. These gases trap heat and cause changes in climatic pattern and ecosystem. Global warming also denotes the process whereby the Earth's atmosphere and ocean experiences an overall increase in temperature. It has led to climate disruption and various environmental impacts. Understanding these causes and impact of global warming is crucial for addressing climate change and preserving the planet for future generations. Let us now go through the various causes of global warming which are there in 21st century. The first one, greenhouse gas emission, deforestation, agricultural practices, industrial process, transportation, land use changes, and waste management. Let us go through these causes in much detail. The first one, greenhouse gas emissions. The primary cause for global warming is the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Human activities such as burning of fossil fuel, that is coal, oil and natural gas for energy production, industrial process, transportation and agriculture. It contributes to significant emissions of carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. These gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere, leading to the greenhouse effect and global warming. Second will be deforestation. As we are living in the concrete jungle in 21st century, we are cutting down the trees in a very fast manner. Deforestation primarily for agriculture purposes, urbanization and timber extraction reduces the Earth's capacity to absorb CO2 from the atmosphere through photosynthesis. Trees, on the other hand, act as a carbon sinks, which absorb CO2 and store it in their biomass. When these forests are cleared, this stored carbon dioxide is released back into the atmosphere, which contribute to the increased greenhouse gas concentration and global warming. With the increasing demand for many products, deforestation has contributed majorly towards various imbalances such as global warming. Let us understand the third major part of these causes, which is agricultural practices. Agricultural activities, particularly if you are talking about livestock farming and rice cultivation, are significant contributors to greenhouse gas emission. Let us understand this by a simple example. Livestock such as cattle and sheep produce methane during digestion, which acts as a fermentation and release and increase the temperature of atmosphere. While rice paddies emit methane through anaerobic decomposition of various organic material in flooded fields. Additionally, the use of synthetic fertilizers in agriculture release nitrous oxide, another potent greenhouse gas. Rising temperature disrupt ecosystem, it alter weather patterns and contribute to extreme weather events like heat waves, particularly we are experiencing, storms and droughts as well. Next cause for global warming will be industrial processes. It is one of the major contributor for global warming. Industrial activities such as manufacturing, mining and chemical production releases the various gases and other pollutants into the atmosphere. Various commercial productions such as cement production, metal smelting and chemical manufacturing emit CO2 and other greenhouse gases as a byproduct. Furthermore, industrial activities often rely on various fossil fuels for the energy production as well. With the growth in demand for major industrial products, industry has seen a rapid pace in terms of infrastructural developments. Thus, it is resulting in more deterioration of resources, causing global warming. Next cause for global warming will be transportation. It is one of the mediums which we generally use as a human being, but it comes at a very higher cost as well. The combustion of fossil fuel in vehicles such as airplanes, ships, and other transportation medias is a significant source of greenhouse gas emissions. The widespread use of gasoline and diesel, which are used in cars, trucks, and other mediums, releases CO2 and other pollutants intricate the atmosphere, which resulted in global warming. Additionally, the transportation infrastructures such as roads and highways contribute to the habitat fragmentation and loss, thereby exacerbating environmental degradation. Now let's move on to the next cause for global warming, which is land use changes. Changes in land use such as urbanization, infrastructural development, and agricultural expansion alters the Earth's surface and ecosystem. It has led to greenhouse gas emission and loss of carbon sinks. Urbanization replaces natural vegetation, which is very important for human being. It is impervious surface like concrete and asphalt, reducing the land abilities to absorb CO2. Similarly, converting natural habitats into agricultural land or urban areas results in the release of stored carbon dioxide and loss of biodiversity. The last cause for global warming will be waste management. Waste management, otherwise also known as waste disposal, includes the processes and actions required to manage waste from its inception to its final disposal. Improper waste management practices such as open burning of waste and landfill decompositions release various harmless gases such as methane, carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Organic waste in landfills undergoes anaerobic decomposition, producing methane gas as a byproduct. Additionally, incineration of waste materials generates CO2 emissions, which is contributing to the global warming. Now let's move on to the second part of the session, which is what are the consequences of global warming? What can we face in the future as well? The first consequence is rising temperature and melting ice and glaciers. Second, ocean acidification and extreme weather events. Third, changes in precipitation pattern and loss of biodiversity. Fourth, agricultural impacts and water scarcity. Fifth, health risk and socio-economic disparities. Sixth, economic cost and loss of cultural heritage. Seventh, global security risk and ecosystem disruption. And last, displacement and migration. We will be going through these consequences one by one. First one, rising temperature and melting ice and glaciers. Global warming led to the higher average temperature worldwide, resulting in heat waves, heat-related illnesses, and heat stress for human, animals, and ecosystem. It also accelerates the melting of glaciers, polar ice caps, and permafrost, which contribute to the rise in sea level and coastal flooding. The melting of ice caps, glaciers, and polar ice sheets due to global warming contribute to the sea level rise, threatening coastal communities, habitat, and infrastructure as well. Loss of ice also disrupt the ecosystem, wildlife habitat, and natural water cycles, which impact the biodiversity and freshwater resources. Next one, the ocean acidification and extreme weather events. Acidification affect calcifying organisms, their ability to build shells and skeletons, disrupting marine food webs and ecosystem. Increased absorption of CO2 gas by the ocean leads to the ocean acidification. It has altered marine chemistry and harm marine life such as coral reefs, shellfish, and plankton. Global warming intensifies weather extremes such as hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, floods, drought, and wildfires. These events cause widespread destruction, displacement, loss of life, and economic damages. It is one of the significant challenges for various communities and ecosystem as well. Third, changes in precipitation pattern and loss of biodiversity. Climate change alters regional precipitation patterns, leading to increased rainfall in some areas and drought in others. Change in this precipitation level affect the water availability, agriculture ecosystem, livelihood, water scarcity, and food security. It also threatens the biodiversity by disrupting the ecosystem, habitat, and species distribution. It has seen that rapid environmental changes has led to population decline among the biodiversity, habitat loss, and increased extinction risk. Lack of biodiversity affect various services such as food security and human well-being. Next will be agricultural impact and water scarcity. Climate change affect agricultural and food production through changes in temperature, precipitation, diseases, and extreme weather events. Livestock productivity and food supply chains are vulnerable to climate variability. Water scarcity by altering precipitation levels has resulted in melting glaciers and increased the evaporation rate. Regions which are very closer to the glaciers are heavily affected by the water scarcity, though they are very much near to the water as well. But as we all know that is not drinkable water. The next consequence will be health risk and socio-economic disparities. It has been observed that various respiratory diseases and malnutrition has prevailed due to global warming. Extreme heat waves, air pollution, waterborne diseases has led to global warming. The socio-economic disparities by affecting various communities, low-income population, and developing countries. Next, economic cost and loss of cultural heritage. Climate change imposes significant economic impact through various infrastructure, agriculture, and tourism practices. The cost of adaptation and mitigation measures are very high. Global warming also threatens the cultural heritage of countries. It affects the traditions, indigenous knowledge of the system as well. Loss of cultural heritage diminishes cultural identity, the historical significance, and spiritual connection to the land as well. Next, global security risk and ecosystem disruption. Global security risk applies to the social, economical, and environmental vulnerabilities. The competition over various scarce resources has led to migration, geopolitical tensions, which has challenges for the peace and stability. Global warming disrupts the ecosystem, biodiversity, and ecological process, which has led to species extinction and ecosystem collapse. Change in temperature and precipitation level has affected the sea level of the ecosystem. Now let us conclude the topic. The individual responsibility has given that everyone has a role to play in combating global warming by reducing the carbon footprint, conserve the energy, and adopting sustainable practices. Various policies and initiatives have prioritized the climate action, renewable energy sources, and environmental conservation can drive systematic change as well. By working together at local, national, and global level, we can mitigate the impact of global warming and protect the planet. Thank you.